Welcome back everyone to more career mode gameplay of NASCAR Heat 5. And in today's video, we're ready for our very first race of the season, our first race in our brand new Cup team at Las Vegas. We'll be running 35 laps there. Of course, as always, we'll be against the maximum difficulty AI. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about the road ahead of us. So we finished up last season running for the championship and had a great chance at winning that, but car just didn't quite hold together long enough for us to bring home the championship. So now we own our own team. We started with what would be considered a good bit of money for game purposes, not necessarily in real life, but in game purposes, we had quite a bit of money, and that has earned us 90s across the board on our car. So 90 on engine, 90 aero, and 90 suspension. Now we could have spent the money a little bit differently maybe and focused on just one of the areas of the car instead of all three, but I think 90s across the board gives us the best chance of performing well early on. And that's going to be important because our next goal is to fully upgrade the performance of our car. That means 100 across the board. But what do we need in order to get there? Well, in order to go from 90 to 95, we need $4 million. And that's going to be the same regardless of which one of these three that we try to upgrade. But what happens if we want to get not just to 95 on the engine, but 100? That's going to require a huge jump. That's an additional $8 million. So the amount it takes to get from 90 to 95 is one thing, but then it's double that to get to 100. So we need a total of $12 million. That is a huge amount of money. Thankfully, because we own our own team now, we don't have to share the cut with anyone else, so we will be able to make some money, but $12 million is a lot of money. And if we take a look at how long and how much money we're going to need in order to reach 100s across the board, $36 million. That is a huge, huge change. So this is where we have to start making some decisions long term. But of course, that's so much money. We got a long time to think about that. And it's going to take a long time to get there. So in one respect, it makes me a little antsy because I'm thinking, man, that's going to take forever to make $36 million, and which is very true. However, on the other side, remember, this is career mode. It's supposed to give you long-term goals to reach, and 100s across the board, a fully upgraded car. Again, we're ignoring the pit crew for now. They don't actually cost all that much, but we're ignoring them and focusing entirely on the car performance, and that's going to take a very long time to get $36 million. So if we back out, another thing that we talked about last time we were together was the car itself. And so if we go into the edit my car mode and let the screen load up, the car last time wasn't, what we started with wasn't the worst thing in the world. Here's what I have finally decided on, at least for now. And again, I'm always prone to changing things up as time goes. But one of the things I did not want to do, because for those of you who follow NASCAR and have followed NASCAR for at least a few years will know that the Eris sponsorship has been used as the primary sponsor in real life, actually with Daniel Suarez. And it would have been very easy for me to simply use the paint scheme, or at least the color palette that they used on that car in real life. However, I wanted to go a different route. I didn't want to go that route. Even though that car looks beautiful, this is the route I finally decided on. So this is what we're going to be starting the season with. And for those of you who are looking at the thumbnail, you already know that because it's already on there. So let's now back out of this. We'll go ahead and click on continue and head back to the main screen. So here we are. We've got our incentive contracts that are now going to be even more important. But today is our first opportunity to see just what type of performance we're going to have on the mile and a halves. All right, folks, it is race time here at Las Vegas. And we're going to be starting just inside the top 20 in the 19th position. Of course, that's barring any adjustments to the grid as we get things going from any of these folks that might have had some issues in the room of doom on race day morning. So 19th position is not too bad. One of the biggest things when you're dealing with a car on reduced performance like this is getting the gearing right on the engine. So we'll just have to see about our RPMs and how close to the red line. Did I get too aggressive with it or not aggressive enough? All those types of questions are what we need to answer. Because it's one thing to know what you want to do for gearing on a fully upgraded engine and car, but what happens when your engine is down on power and your car doesn't have all of the grip that it needs? This is something that I've heard from those of you who use my setups in career mode a lot in the past, because a lot of people do not take that into consideration, that you can't just copy and paste a setup in fully expecting that it's going to make fast laps, because your car isn't fully upgraded, and that changes the handling as well as the speed overall. Alright, let's see. So far we seem to be doing pretty good. As always, it's short run versus long run. We'll see how our car does. This is a similar setup, in fact nearly identical actually, to what I used here last time we were in Vegas. So it's a little bit of a test setup for NASCAR Heat 6, just throwing some ideas out here, see what works. That is a little bit different than what I used this year. It's something I try to do each year, not because the setups stop working from year to year. It's simply because I want to try some different ideas and give you guys several different options of setups to use.
Got one outside now.
Alright, so again, we're off to a pretty good start. We don't have the horsepower. You can see the 43 is going to power by us down the straightaway, but in the corner we've got plenty of grip. And that's one of the reasons why the next thing we upgrade needs to be the engine. Because you can see right now, albeit we're back in 16th, but keep in mind that we have no issues in the corner with grip compared to the other cars. I mean, we were easily able to outrun the 43 through the corner. It's down the straightaway that we need a lot of help. Because if you watch in the mirrors, well, whenever the graphic will get out of the way. Oh, hello. I appreciate that 43 car. Tried to squeeze into a hole that really wasn't there. But you can see how quickly these guys come up on us down the straightaway. But then in the corners, we're able to pull away from them because, well, we've got plenty of grip for the speed that we're running, the top end speed that we're running right now. Plenty of grip for that. So we need to focus on our engine performance right now.
Outside.
Wow, that was amazing. Look at these guys, 3 wide on us right now. And again, I have been wide open for the entirety of the race. I'm not lifting. So there's absolutely nothing I can do to hold these guys off, other than trying to block them, which would probably end badly for everyone.
Alright, you're clear there. Car outside.
Oh, hello. Hey, car outside that my spotter decided to tell me was there. I had no idea that guy was there, by the way.
Car there on the
None.
inside.
Car behaves quite nicely up in the high side as well. But again, what is going to get us is we simply do not have the straightaway speed. But $4 million is what we need to take the next step there. So $4 million or $3 million from where we currently sit.
2 to go.
But it is certainly not fun to watch these guys run away from us on the straightaway. That is something that every driver, it just creates a sickening feeling in your stomach, because you know you can't do anything with that. I mean, you can fight with them in the corners, you can try different lines and try to do some things to the car to make it behave more to your liking and maybe pick up a little speed, but you can't do anything about straightaway.
You got 1 to go.
All right, final lap here in stage 1. Try to get a little more momentum down the straightaway by running the high line. Ooh, look out. These guys had it coming together off the corner. Look at the 41 just dropped right up in front of us, which is exactly what he should do if he wants to maintain that position, but he's going to have no issues. We come in 21st position. Man, we lost. We made up at the beginning of the run several positions. We will not be pitting here, but we probably will pit after stage 2 just to add some fun into the race. But yeah, 21st position after we were running, what, 15th, 16th? And then that group of cars just blew by us. So once again on the start. But yeah, I had no issues with the handling of the car. It was doing exactly what I needed it to do, except for run faster on the straightaway. That was the only thing we were missing there.
Careful, still there.
The gearing seems okay as well. I mean, obviously it's not going to be perfect.
Careful, still there.
I did run a couple of laps in practice just to try to figure out the gearing a little bit,
Careful,
but
still there.
I didn't want to run a lot of laps because that goes against the spirit of what I'm trying to accomplish here in the career mode.
Car on the outside now. All clear.
But I can tell you, if this was really our
Got
team,
one up top.
the first thing we would do is have a sit down with our spotter,
All clear up top.
because in real life you just could not drive with a spotter like this. He doesn't give you the information you need. He doesn't give it to you when you need it.
Got one up top.
It's as if they coded the spotter and then told him to speak sparingly. So they didn't want him to be too chatty, which unfortunately kills the effectiveness of the spotter when you're actually needing the spotter. Oh, this is so... On one hand, it is so infuriating to be able to get this close to the cars and do what we're doing through the corners, only to get to the straightaway and not have any speed for them at all. On the other hand, it's actually kind of fun because it forces you to really think about what you're doing, the line you're going to run, and thinking about your inputs to try to be as smooth as you can to maintain as much speed as you can throughout the race.
Still there inside. All right, you're clear.
All right, the 17 was coming up on me very quick, and I thought I would give him the bottom to see if that's what he wanted, and hopefully we wouldn't have any contact. But now the high side, which, I mean, I absolutely love running high anytime I can. Unfortunately, in this game, it's not really fast at very many places.
5 to go, driver. Got a car coming inside now.
But it is a lot of fun to get up here and run as close to the wall as you can get.
Stay high up here.
Closer, the more fun. So at this point, I'm still wide open. I haven't lifted at all during this race, except for maybe a couple of times when we were in traffic and that kind of thing. But not lifting. I dragged the brake just a little bit on corner entry. But the thing is, if I want to run the very bottom, get right down there by that white line, then I have to drag the brake a little bit more and change up where I run. It's a little bit faster, I believe, down there, just based on how these guys are pulling away from me in the corners, or excuse me, on the straightaways. But if I want to get right down to the white line, then I have to bind the car up a little bit more, put more wheel in it, drag the brake more to try to get it wound down on corner entry. But if I want to let it run at least a half groove up, kind of like what I'm doing now, or run the higher grooves, then I don't have to do anything on entry. I can basically just let the car float in there with minimal, if any, touch on the brake pedal. So again, it's all about trying to figure out what works best for you. But right now, wow, once again, we are already done with the stage. I'm actually having quite a bit of fun, despite the fact that we're not able to make up any spots and we've actually lost a couple in this stage. I'm actually having quite a bit of fun in this race, trying to figure out what can I do with the 17 car. Oh, I was hoping he was going to give me a lane on the bottom to try to get by him, but nope, not going to happen. So we will finish up stage number 2. And, oh, now it's the last lap. Okay, I wasn't paying close enough attention. I could have sworn I heard him say that that was the last lap. So no matter, we'll just do our thing for one more lap. Now, who is that car? Oh, that's me not paying attention. Who is that car coming up behind us? That is, yes, that is Chase Elliott. Is he the leader? Are we getting lapped right now?
Nice driving that stage,
I don't think so. What in the world is Chase Elliott doing that? Yeah, he's in 23rd. What on earth is Chase Elliott doing that far back in the field? Yikes, that is not good at all. All right, so we will be pitting. We got 15 laps to go, or not quite 15 once you get to the cautions out of the way. But let's just go ahead. We're not going to make any changes. We're simply going to accept this, pit, and move on. But again, we're pitting for fun. We're not pitting because the car was disastrous or was handling awful or anything like that. This is all about fun. So we were running 23rd, 24th there at the very end. Again, going through the corners, we generally have a lot of speed for these guys. So I'm going to have to be very careful about what I do right here, dragging the brake.
Careful, still there.
So the high side is my friend right now, as long as these guys will give me some room up here.
Still there.
If they start to block my runs, which is very likely,
Still there.
then I'm sort of at their mercy. But if they will get single file on the bottom like that, then that makes me a happy man. Oh, and not do that.
Clear there.
At 73 car, we gotta get him out of the way. Bobby Carter's trying to win
Still
everything.
there. Clear low there.
Yeah, there we go. So the 43 car has dropped back quite a bit. He's now running in the 30s, and I could have sworn that he was much farther up than that.
Still there.
So the bad part about running on the outside, as much as it is fun, and it keeps us away from the other cars, as much as that is the case, it does slow our lap time down.
All clear.
Especially on new tires, since it's, pretty easy to run the bottom at all but wide open anyway.
All clear.
So I'm trying to start getting to the bottom
Clear there.
as much as I can, again, just to improve our lap times, and ultimately I'm hoping it will get us maybe a few more positions by doing that. I mean, you can see, we're all over these cars in the corner right now.
Still there.
All right, so we're about back to where we were originally. Now, the problem is we're running out of horsepower on the straightaways too, so that's going to make it very hard for us to continue moving forward. But I'm hoping that we can carry enough speed through the corners that we can continue moving forward.
Stay low.
Because right now, at this point in the grid, we are running way faster than they are through the corners. What about Quinn Hoff? He is running in the 24th position. That is
Car outside.
much higher than I've ever seen him run in a real race. Alright, so we're clear of him here. Let's see if we can pull away from him in turns 3 and 4. And sure enough, there's our buddy Chase Elliott, right out here, former teammate.
Got a
All right, we need to chase him down. But at this point, this is where we were before we pitted. So we've made it back, and we've got, what, about 5 laps or so before the end of this race. We've already made it back to where we were, and I dare say that we took the fun route in getting here.
To go this time by.
5 to go, the man says. All right, so I'm looking out in front to see if there's any way that we can move forward. What we want is guys fighting side by side. That's what would really help us to gain time. But right now, everybody in front of us, for the most part, is nice and single file. A few fights here and there, but they're not enough that they're going to slow these guys down enough for us. And again, I'm still wide open. My right foot has not left the floor, except for a couple of opportunities when we were in a mess in traffic, and I needed to get out of the gas. But other than that, it has not left the floor. And that's something you can use really even with a fully powered car, a fully upgraded car. You can do this, particularly on these mile and a halves, of course. Oh, all right, 9 car. I can see it right now. We're going to have this battle for the remainder of the race, the last few laps, because on the straightaways he comes right back on me, but in the corners I've got him. In fact, we were so much faster than him in 1 and 2 that I almost ran him over. I was on the brakes harder than I wanted to be, just trying to get by him, or keep off of him.
Car there on the inside. You're clear all around there.
All right, we are gaining on the 17 quickly. We have disposed of Elliott, so he's gone now, at least for the time being. All right, yeah, we got a shot here at the 17. So on the straightaway, I want to draft him as much as I can.
You got 1 to go. And
I need him to go high here in this corner. If he goes high, we're good. If he doesn't, nope, he didn't.
Stay high, stay high.
All right, let's see. We need him to, no, he's going to pull back. All right, let's see what we can do here in this corner. Oh, he got me. He caught me trying to pinch him down, and he moved me up the track. So that is going to take away that spot, but it was worth a shot. I knew I needed to pinch him down. So not bad. 23rd. Not quite what I was hoping for, but this was our first race in our new ride, and overall, I'm pretty happy with that. We can build on that. The most important thing is coming up here in just a moment. How much money did we make? That's our first indication of how quickly we might be able to move forward. $829,000. So it's going to take a few races. It's going to take a few races for us to be able to move forward. That merch payout is where it's all at. The longer you run in the career mode, the more fans you get, the more money you get in that merch payout. And that is ultimately going to decide how much money you're making. Because you can see, I mean, it's easily double what we got as the payout for the race. And our sponsor payout is really good, but still, it's no match for the merch payout. So $829,000 is what we're going to bring home today, and what I would consider to be a very fun race. Ran the entire thing wide open, and only used the brakes a little bit on entry just to settle the car. So that was pretty fun. I can't wait to see what we can do next time, and most importantly, I can't wait to see what we're going to be able to do when we upgrade our engine one more level. That's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stick around for more NASCAR Heat 5.